Hello, everyone. This is Tommy at World at War Comics, and we have another amazing podcast for you today. But before I get into that, remember, give us a like, make sure you're subscribed, and hit that ring bell so you get notified every time we drop another interview or have any other cool videos that are being posted. All right. Our sponsors, as always, is CN Chilies. Go to cnchilies.com and get your hot sauce. It's CIENCHILES.com. And if you use comics at checkout, you'll save 15%. Best hot sauce you'll ever have. I promise. Try the Thai Bird. It's hot and it'll make you hurt in all the right ways. I love it. It tastes amazing. Okay. And then also, our podcast is also brought to you by Comic Crusaders. I am a writer for Comic Crusaders. Please check us out. Go to comiccrusaders.com and you have all the reviews of all the new comics coming out so you know which ones that you should have on your pull list. We do movies and we even do music. All right, without further ado, today we have the one and the only Lonzo Starr, owner of KonKret Comics and writer creator of the Akolyte, which is an amazing comic book. If you have not read that, I'm about to drop issue 5. Check it out. You can go to konkretcomics.com or just listen to this podcast and you'll hear of all the great things they're doing. But they got all kinds of cool titles. Dejavu, Luna, which is amazing. Odina, which is amazing. Absolver, which is amazing. Tenoch, which is amazing. Decimation Earth, which is amazing. Andy, Starboy, which is amazing. They have just so many. Just check it out. You will not be disappointed. An amazing group of people and even in more incredible comic books. So without further ado, here is Lonzo Starr and I. Thanks, everybody. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the World at War Comics. Today, we have an amazing guest, Mr. Lonzo Starr. Second time on the show. I think you're the only one that's been on twice, man. And I'm super excited. You know, I'm a big fan of everything that KonKret is doing. I even brought out my stack just in case people don't believe me, man. I'm a huge
not playing
fan.
with the stack.
I
You're
got the
not playing with
stack,
that
man.
stack there. Wow,
I think I
bro.
got pretty much everything. I think I was going through it and I'm missing, maybe it was Absolver 3.
Absolver 3. You're missing Acolyte 5, I think, too.
Yeah, but I didn't see Acolyte 5 yet. It wasn't
So
on the
5
website, was it?
5 is gonna be out. It's supposed to be releasing next week on the website. So
Nice. I'll be
and
back.
and the brand new number 1 is gonna be available as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, I need 5
So
because 4 ends in a way that I gotta have 5, man. I was
yeah,
like,
no,
dude, come on, Lonzo, man, come
five
on.
five might be one of your favorites, man. Well,
Really?
5 is one of my favorites because I get to go somewhere that,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
been dying to go for a while. So,
Nice.
you know what I mean? But six is in progress right now. It's almost done.
Yeah,
6, like I'm just excited to be 5 issues is a lot, but getting to
yeah,
6 and having a completed trade
yeah,
um to the first arc of this, this ongoing series,
yeah.
it's incredible. But the way I'm ending 6, man, it's gonna have you guys like, wait a minute now. What's happening? Why is this happening? And it just makes me excited for the next arc, for
Yeah.
seven through what would I say? Five issues will be 7 through 11, right?
7 through
Or
11,
or
yeah.
or 10,
It should, or
10 through
7
11,
through 12. Is it going to be
7
another
through 12.
6-part arc or is it going to be a 5-part arc, the
I'll
second one?
probably try to. I would love to do 4, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do 5. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to do 5 at the most.
Okay.
Because then, but I got to. But see, that's the thing. I got to do something to make number 10 special.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I can't end it. I could potentially do a 3 book thing where it ends on the 10th one, and it's like a
Yeah.
big, cliffhanger. Because 10
Yeah.
issues is like I'm excited about 5 and 6 right now, but 10,
That's a
10 is
feat,
crazy,
man.
man.
Yeah, that's huge, man. For an indie comic to be that successful and get to 10, that's huge. I mean, you look at
Yeah,
some of these comics, I've interviewed quite a few people now, a lot from Image Comics, and even they can't get that far. They get to like 4 or 5, and your first issue
really.
is always your highest,
Yeah,
sales,
yeah,
and then it's a decline every single time from there. And that's why you do story arcs to hopefully bump up in the middle of your run, right?
yeah.
And it's very difficult. So for you to be able to get to that, I mean, a lot of really good writers can't get to that, man. And I consider you one of those good writers. So for you to be able to do that, that's huge, Lonzo. I mean, you should be really proud of what you've been able to accomplish and what you've created, man.
I appreciate that, man. You know, I think you're one of the first interviewers to recognize me as a writer, because you know most
Yeah,
of the time when I get interviewed, you know, for
yeah,
the publisher side of things, and you know just the
yeah,
CEO type of things. But you know that's one thing I've been really trying to get my name out there as a writer. Like, you know, I
yeah,
think as people, they just see the image of KonKret, they just see the big, and
yeah,
that's what they want to know. But
yeah,
rarely do they pick apart, like, so why do people like these stories, and
yeah.
who's writing these things, and who's doing this, doing that. So I definitely appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, Acolyte is an awesome book, man. So, and you know, you get into like issue 3 and issue 4, and you got all these new characters that you dropped. I mean, it gets crazy, man. I don't want to give
Yeah,
anything away. You want to, especially now that you are starting all over with issue 1 through the preview mag, and people start going into their stores and ordering these. We certainly don't
yeah,
want to give anything away on issue 1 moving forward, because you're going to get a lot of new people that are going to be
yeah,
exposed to KonKret and Acolyte for the first time. But I'm telling you get the 3 and 4, man. It just gets like crazier and crazier, and the story gets
yeah,
more evolved, and then all of a sudden all these new characters start coming in. You got, you know,
yeah,
this one
yeah,
little group that comes in and wants to start causing issues as they're looking for
yeah,
something, and then in issue
yeah.
4, that character you drop in issue 4 is so amazing, man.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna be you know, 2024 rollout for him. Because
Yeah,
after issue 6 of Acolyte, I'm gonna take some space to build in some of these other characters that you
yeah,
meet. And
yeah.
Sith Row is one of them. Well, he's one of my main ones. Him and Zoriel is gonna be dropping this year. So
Okay.
you're gonna
Yeah,
look out
yeah.
for that. I'm thinking Halloween, straight to website. That's
Nice.
go crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. Well, let's talk about Acolyte for a moment as we get into some of the other news that you have. But you know, as you're writing Acolyte, what is your favorite part about the writing aspect of it? Is it the storytelling? Is it the character development? Which of the two do you enjoy the most?
Probably the world building. It's
The
probably my
world building,
favorite.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
you know I'm a big Star Wars guy. I'm a big Aliens, Predator, Prometheus,
yeah,
all
yeah,
of it. Terminator. You know,
yeah,
just the I know they're not connected. You know, on paper, but they're
yeah,
connected. If
for
you
sure.
know, you know they're
Yeah,
connected, right?
yeah,
And to me, I just love like the connected lore. I think that's probably why I love the MCU so much because um, I just brought this discussion up actually on Twitter. I was like, you know, a lot of people give Age of Ultron a bad rep, and I don't
yeah,
understand because Age of Ultron did such an amazing thing for the MCU. It was like a tree that had so many branches that branched
yeah.
into through Captain America's world. It introduced Wakanda, introduced Scarlet, introduced this, introduced that. So, you know, I don't understand why people don't see that this wasn't so meant to be like an end
Hmm.
game movie.
Right.
This was just a bridge to
Hmm.
this is where we're going. And that's
Yeah,
why I appreciated it a lot. You
yeah,
know, it even like the events of it caused the government to go crazy, and then you got this
hmm
and that happened and this, and you know, it was just a lot that went on. So I
yeah,
feel like in storytelling, that's one of my favorite parts of this because you know, it that's the challenge as a writer
yeah,
is how to build the world without giving people too much information and it just feeling cluttered and you're just all over the place.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't want to tell Acolyte in a way where in my head you're seeing things as he's traveling to where he's going. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So I
Yeah,
want to keep you on the path of where he's going, but on
right.
the way he's gonna get some little stop signs he's gonna run into or some traffic lights that he's gonna have to stop and look around and do something there. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely you could see the world building and every issue, right? You start to expose us to a little bit more of that world that you're creating as with
yeah,
the characters. So, yeah, no, we definitely see that. And we could see your love for those other properties and the style that you have, man. So that's pretty cool. Because I
yeah.
really enjoy the world building and I also enjoy the emotional side of it, especially the first issue as you start to really understand
Mhm.
Acolyte and you understand the mentorship that took place. And then you see that
Yeah.
development of that mentorship in 2 through 4 and how he's now become,
Yeah.
Acolyte, and he's starting to act according to everything that he's been taught. But that connection you'll start to see as you get further on, it
Yeah.
still is there, right? It doesn't wasn't like he went through a training that was the end of it. There's still that relationship there that he can lean
Yeah.
on, which I
He
really
still
love.
has to refocus. He still has
Yeah,
to refocus and remember, who he is and what he's was been taught. Because you can get complacent if
sure.
nothing's a challenge to you. So
Yeah.
now when them challenges come, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
remember,
Yeah.
you can't just win this fight because you're good. This
Mm-hmm.
person may not be as strong as you, but they may know how to beat you. So you gotta be
Exactly.
careful. And
Yeah.
I think when you get the reprinted issue of number one, I
Mm-hmm.
added I added like some content I left out of the original number one, but
Nice.
I added it in this one, so you kind of get to see a little bit before you see him on the plane. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Mm-hmm.
see what kind of sparked a little bit of his insecurity, should I say?
Sure.
But I think
Yeah.
the other thing I love about the writing, like how I write, I don't write like I'll have an idea, like I'll
Mm-hmm.
know where I'm going
Mm-hmm.
issue from now to issue 10. But
Yeah.
but when I'm writing, something may occur in the writing where I decide to make this person say this or say that. And
Mm-hmm.
because they said that, now my issue 6 changed a little bit. Like
Okay.
it's not going the way I had it planned, still
Mm-hmm.
going the same direction, but now I gotta explain why did this person say that and this and that. So for me, the story is like when I'm writing it, it's like a new story
Yeah.
because I know the outline, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's another the pen creates another path
Yeah.
that just makes me excited. Like, and I can't wait for you to read issue 5 because
Yeah. I can't wait either.
it's the same feeling you got in when you were reading issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, issue 2 connects to issue 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For sure.
when you're reading issue 2, you see a guy and you see what he's doing. You don't know what he's doing,
Yeah.
but you meet two factions when it comes to block and it comes to the government guy.
Mm-hmm.
See those guys, and
Yeah.
then issue 3 you deal with what you saw
Mm-hmm.
in issue 2,
Yeah.
but then issue 4 kind of connects to exactly what those guys were thinking in issue 2, and you got it, you know, just his mere presence on the planet is creating some questions and some thoughts and some insecurities in the people.
Yeah. For
And,
sure.
but in issue 5, when you read it, you're gonna be like, okay, I know where he's going,
Yeah.
but who the heck are these people?
Yeah.
And then that's gonna I wanted to stick in your mind like, oh, they're coming back. This
Yeah.
is this is something else that I'm just planting seeds for
Yeah.
later in the issues. And it might not even be you might not even see them in Acolyte. You might see them pop up in Odina. You might see them somewhere
Yeah.
else. And so I want to build a world like that that's really just free flowing.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, speaking of Odina, man, I gotta get Najee on, man. I think he's one of the only writers I haven't had on from KonKret, so I got to reach out to him.
Oh
But
yeah.
man, I'm glad that you're starting to connect some of these worlds because man, there's some really good titles that you have within that KonKret portfolio, so that's pretty cool. As
Yeah.
far as the story and the way you write, how far ahead do you try to be? Like I know you mentioned 5 is about to drop, 6 is almost done. Like, do you have a story written out to 10? And then as you start to see the art come in, does sometimes the art change a little bit of what you thought you were going to do in your writing? Like, is there that
For
flexibility?
sure. It
Yeah.
definitely changed. It definitely changed. Even like I'll say the only thing I know for sure is how Acolyte story would end. I know the
Okay.
ending. Like if I wanted to wrap this thing at 20 issues, I could
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
If I wanted to go 1,000 issues, I could do it because I know
Okay.
how it ends. And it's so this is like a small fraction of the amount of people that could be in the cosmos on Earth
Yeah.
and whatever. So it's so much story I can tell. Um, but it's just this first arc is important because this arc connects to the end.
Yeah.
So from here, I could tell this arc and plant this seed, and then I may not spin back to the second half of this arc till issue 20 or issue 30
Mm-hmm.
if I wanted to. But it would
Right.
all make sense because you'd be like, yo, that's the lady from that was looking for, and now they got it. Now what does this mean? And this, that, that. So,
Yeah.
I want to, I have a plan. I know originally I know where I was going from issue 1 to 20 exactly where I was gonna be at.
Right.
But like I said, issue 5 wasn't supposed to be how it
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
story was supposed to be more straight, boom, boom, boom. But I was like, nah, let me use this issue to bridge something or to create another extension. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what you saw in issue 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to, I'll say it without giving spoilers, but to you, that issue is basically a Sith Row issue that
Mm-hmm.
explains what he's going to be doing.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
That
was
makes
able to
sense.
flow it in as an Acolyte story. So
Yeah.
I was able to use, I was able to make a filler issue
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't a filler issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Exactly.
still move the story forward as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah, yeah. Because what Acolyte is dealing with is definitely in issue 4 too. At the same time that you're telling this other story. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. And you were able to flow those two together quite nicely. So yeah, right on, man. That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure, man. It's I think a lot of my writing, like where my mind is when I'm writing, comes
Yeah.
from I watch a lot of movies. I'm a
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
buff. And when I write, I kind of see it visually. I see it
Mm-hmm.
like as an animated or a film. Like so
Yeah.
in my head, I see the flow and the transition in movies is what makes or breaks a good movie. How they
Yeah.
transition, and
Yeah.
even in comics,
Mm-hmm.
you just really got to plan it and know like you got to often anybody that's watching that's a young writer, you got to often take yourself out of the writer seat. Like
Mm.
you write 5 pages and then sit back and read it as a customer and
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like,
It's a good
am I
point.
interested in this? Does this make me want to continue? I always
Mm-hmm.
ask myself that. I ask the creators, yo, is that page going to make me want to turn a page?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point. That's a good point. You know, Lonzo, I can't remember. Did you start as a musician before you started writing comics and creating KonKret, or was it the opposite?
No, I was a music artist, a music
Yeah.
producer and a music artist. And
Yeah.
I always had love for comics, stuff like that, but I
Sure. Yeah.
never in life thought this would
Mm-hmm.
be the path. Never
Is
thought I
there,
would be a master Jedi ever.
yeah, exactly. I thought that was the case. Is there anything that you learned as a musician that has been helpful as a writer for comics?
Oh, for surely on the
Yeah. On the
business
business
side,
side, yeah. Yeah.
marketing and promoting.
Yeah.
Most definitely. That's the creative. Tell everybody the creation part is easy. If you
Yeah.
love it, you can write all day. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. I don't write all day. I may get maybe I'll brainstorm a lot every day.
Yeah.
I'll brainstorm characters. I do a lot of character sheets, but the actual
Mm-hmm.
writing of comics, I really when I write my comic, especially now with my art team, shout out to Bruno Lima and shout out
Yeah.
to Matthias. I've Around issue 4, we decided to go a different direction where I let them get freedom. So we kind of
Mm-hmm.
go like the Marvel method. So I'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
write them an outline. And I say, yo,
Mm-hmm.
this is the outline of what I want for page to page to page. And
Yeah.
you draw it, characters you put in there, you got complete freedom.
Yeah.
Whatever you see. And he loves Acolyte, he loves the universe, he loves the character. So he's excited to add
Yeah.
things in there. And with the colors, I say, "Oh, this is the theme, but whatever pops in your head,
Mm-hmm.
you can see it." And I think you can kind of see the difference in issue 1 through 3 to then
Mm-hmm.
4 to now. Like 4 is when I started just putting my hands back and letting them do it. But it
Yeah.
opened me up as a writer because I don't write the words until I
Right.
see the pages. So I
Mm-hmm.
write to the actual panel. So I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there looking at the panels and I'm thinking like, he should say this and that, and then this and that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll switch it, change it, boom, boom, boom. But it's
Yeah.
helped. It's helped the conversation
Mm-hmm.
uh flow a lot better. And I'll give and that's what I love about Odina and Anaji.
Yeah.
Anaji, I call him the master of conversation. Like his books and his story, it
Yeah.
really feels like you hear two people conversating. And I love that aspect about it. That's not my strongest suit. My strong suit is action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Action and hiding cliffhangers and that stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, as we make these comics, you gather skills, and that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be perfect at everything, but
Yeah. Yeah. For
you can
sure.
definitely gain these skills. But music has definitely helped a lot when it comes to branding of KonKret and how we move, how I promote. uh, being comfortable on interviews. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Being comfortable at Comic Cons.
Yeah.
I've been places. I've been in New York on the corner, man, just
Yeah.
handing out CDs and other places. So
Yeah.
being in front of a computer ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That is for sure, man. That is for sure. Well, let's talk about some of the other titles, if that's okay. What's going on with Absolver?
Absolver, man, the
The Dark.
darkest man in the concrete
I love
universe.
this one, man. I think I've always been in love with just the way he looks, man. He just looks dope as
Yeah,
hell. Just
he's very
love that look,
menacing.
man.
I'll say this: you may have a surprise on your hands in 2024 with um a little collaboration. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
a little
Nice.
crossover event. You know what I mean? 2024 is a couple. I'll you know what? An exclusive right here. 2024, we got some crossovers that we're gonna be announcing, man.
Nice.
That are done already.
Nice,
That
man. That's
that we'll be
awesome.
releasing. 2024 is our 5th year anniversary, so
Yeah.
we really want to do some special things for y'all. Maybe do an anthology as well.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fire. But yeah, no, Absolver, we had a slight delay.
Mhm.
As you know, life is life. Life does some things to you, but Mr. Leslie's he's back in the driver's seat. 4 is basically done, just finishing final touches of it, and you'll have issue 3 and 4. And I think his arc actually wraps on 4, and then it continues
Mhm.
after that, five,
Okay.
6, 7, 8. Now, but the way it the dope thing about this first arc is like you're kind of more so getting an introduction, not to Absolver, but more to what Absolver is and where he
Okay.
comes
Yeah.
from
Hmm.
and kind of what he's about to get into because the world is ramping up around him as well,
Yeah.
and it's getting a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It-
Yeah. Now I'm glad to see that you're going to do some more with this character too, because he is phenomenal, man. The story and the background is phenomenal. Um, so by far, man, I think he looks so dope.
yeah.
I need a big sweater with him on it, man. It just would be
Oh
sweet, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Nah, he's a dope character, and I love Jamil's writing style, man. He's very good at
yeah.
telling a story within the story. He's very
Yep.
poetic with his narration, um, to where it makes you think even deeper at the pages that you're looking
Hmm.
at. So,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mr. Leslie for sure.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I mean, it's incredible, and I can't wait to see issue 4. I got to pick up 3 still, but I got to get issue 4 too. So
Yeah,
when issue 4 comes out, I'll just pick up those two at the same time, so I can. Then I'll have to reread
yeah.
them all, man, because it's been a while. So I'll have to reread
Oh
those,
yeah.
make sure that I'm all fresh for the issue 3 and 4.
No, I dig that. I always encourage people that for the books that do have more issues, even
Yeah,
if you're getting like number 4, number 5, read it. Try to read it all
yeah.
in one
Mhm.
session because it hits you even harder.
For
You know
sure,
what I
for
mean?
sure. And then, like even if you've read it once, man, you go back and you read it a second time, you always find stuff that you didn't even realize in that first one, right? There's always little Easter eggs, or
Yeah.
there's something that took place that you didn't pay attention to, and
Yeah.
you realize it's a bigger part of the story. So, absolutely. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I love to go back into books and read them again. So, it's all good, man. All good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
All right,
For
man. What
sure.
about Odina? What's going on with the Najee and Odina? So, I got the 3 right here.
So 4 is on the site as well. But
Yeah,
you can 5 and 6 are done, completely done.
really.
Artwork, colors, everything. Just putting the final lettering on it. And
Nice.
Odina wraps up at number 6 as well for that first
Okay.
arc.
Yeah.
Um, and then it kind of branches off with Sister Circle and Kandaki
Mhm.
because they're all connected to the same universe.
Yeah.
But then Odina comes back. But Odina 5 and 6 is giving Acolyte a run for the money. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Big battles, man. A lot of it like an in game level event going on in the Odina stories, man.
That's
And
awesome, man.
I'm excited for it. It's funny because I think Odina had a lot of character development because in the
Hmm.
beginning, a lot of guys, mainly guys,
Yeah.
they didn't like her brashness or that they thought she was too cocky and
Yeah.
why is she acting like this? It's like a there was general complaints. Like some people
Really?
they didn't like her, and that's often a stereotype with black women. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
too forceful to too this and that. It's interesting to see that, and then to
Yeah.
see how, you know, she has been humbled. and
Yeah.
she's learning like, yo, I gotta chill out because some people are knocking my ass out. Saying, let me get right for a minute. And once she in her humbleization, she's
Yeah.
learning that there's a lot more responsibility that it's a lot bigger than her. And I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like that's the dope thing about Odina.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like whether you're male or female, you could relate to that to some extent, right? I mean, we all have to go through certain situations throughout their life that does humble us. And when we look back, we realize there's probably things we could have done differently, right? And so I think that's actually really good that people saw that in the first issue and they're seeing the development of Odina and the
Yep.
issues that follow, right? Because I speak for myself, man, I'm no different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
It happens,
It
man.
happens,
Especially when you're
man.
young, right? You're young and you think you know everything, and then all of a sudden you start to get older and
Yeah.
you realize you don't know that much.
I feel like those things we got to do, especially in the indie comic scene, just give
Yeah.
people a chance, man. Give it a
Yeah.
chance, read it,
Mhm.
because it's not, we've been spoiled with having being able to just look up, say you wanted to look up Flash,
Yeah.
and you just look up a small blurb, and you know everything about them, and you just go read an arc
Yeah.
wherever you want to read it from, because you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
always go get the information and
That's
years
true.
and years, literal decades of
Yeah.
character development. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
with us indies such as yourself, with I loved your book too, man. I can't. I've been working on a nice review for you, man. So I'm
That's all
I'm
good,
definitely
man.
gonna
I
get that
appreciate
for
it.
you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's hard for uh, people just got to give it a read. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely. No, it's good.
And that's why it's really important for us creators to really
Mhm.
be thoughtful of your first issue. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Know what you're getting yourself into.
Yep.
Know how to plan for the longevity of it. Some people they write for the moment, this is the greatest book ever.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's happening in issue 2 and 3?
Yeah.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
How did this person go from Peter Parker to Dr. Manhattan in issue 1? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's very true, very true. No, I mean it's all awesome, man. And what Najee's been able to produce has been phenomenal. That's why I gotta get him on and talk about it because he is a very good
He
writer,
is.
and very good at developing his characters too. So, all right, then we get into Miss Luna. I had
Uh-oh.
uh I had Moon on the show, man.
Yeah.
Like I just
She's
felt like
she's incredible.
sitting back and letting her talk to me all day, man. She's like the most soothing,
Yeah.
sweetest person I think I've ever met, man. She is a fantastic human being. Really enjoy talking to her. Yeah, man. If you're not following Moon the Storyteller, you're making a mistake on Instagram and everywhere else she's at. But on Instagram, she does a really good job of, obviously portraying Luna, but she has really good insight on anything and everything that's happening within the industry. So she's just an
Oh
awesome
yeah.
human being, man.
She is a sponge that turned into the faucet. She
Yeah.
she's as a creator, her creative development from when I first met her to who she is now is
Yeah.
incredible. And
Yeah.
she's the first lady, literally the first female creator of KonKret Comics,
Yeah.
and she's out here as probably as in my eyes, she's one of the top female creators in the game right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially on the black woman side.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be number one. She puts
Mm-hmm.
herself out there like
Yeah.
she's number one.
Yeah.
I don't really see no other I don't really see nobody else, pushing
Mm-hmm.
the pushing it like how
Yeah.
she is. And
Yeah.
I'm so impressed by everything she's doing. Her writing, her writing is very emotional.
Yeah.
She's
It
so
is.
connected to this story,
Yeah.
and she has so much passion to just really reach the families and reach people that
Mm-hmm.
are looking for love stories in comics. And that's why
Yeah.
I love Luna for the KonKret universe, because it
Yeah.
adds another element to it,
Yeah.
man. It's like a soap opera of the comics.
Yeah.
Because you got Absolver's dark, gritty,
Yeah.
very poetic. You got Odina, she's heroic but
Yeah.
historic,
Yep.
historical facts. You got Akolyte, it's cosmic adventure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you got Luna here for
Yeah.
people that want to dive into something that's very thought provoking. So
Yeah.
I feel like it was a perfect mesh for the KonKret universe, and I'm proud
Yeah.
of Luna. I'm proud of Carla, and I'm very
Yeah.
happy for Luna
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
getting the love
Absolutely.
that it is.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing book. And like you said, very family centric. It certainly is a love story. It has a little twists and turns in it for sure, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And I know when we were speaking, she mentioned there could possibly be the issue 2 this year. Is that still on track?
That's what she's gunning for.
Yeah, that's
She got her
awesome.
foot she got her pedal her foot is to the floor.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
she wants that thing out this year, and I'm not mad at it. You know,
yeah,
it would actually be perfect because she dropped Luna #1 came out at the end of 2022.
yeah,
So it will be right around the time when it should be dropping.
yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely plans for that for sure,
Right
and
on.
I'm very excited for that. I'm very
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
for that. I've already seen for those of you that are on our Patreon, we do show whip work during every Wednesday,
Hmm.
still works in progress, and I just showed some pages from Luna,
Oh,
and
really?
they were loving it. They were
Yeah, that's
loving it.
awesome,
So
man.
that book is definitely making waves. I feel like
Yeah,
this #2 is really gonna set her apart from a lot of
yeah.
people.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that too. All right, and we have a few couple other titles too that I wanted to kind of talk about. We have Dejavu, which this one
Oh,
was the latest one that I just received, I think, as a Kickstarter, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
And it came with some art too, man. I'll go ahead and show everybody this. So if you're not supporting the Kickstarters when they do come out, there's always cool
Yeah,
stuff that come, man. So check that out right here. That was pretty dope.
sir.
And then it
Yeah,
came with
no.
some of the artwork that it came with too, hitting the
Fire.
goals, and you have all these stretch goals and stuff, man. It was pretty dope, man. I always love doing
Yeah,
Kickstarters just for that reason, right? You always get a little extra.
yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. But Dejavu is also another dope character. So you have zero
Deja vu is dope.
one, and then do you know of when we could see maybe an issue 2, or have you got that far yet with Dejavu? I know this just came out, so it might be a little early.
Well, if you watch the Patreon, you'll know
Oh, okay. I have
that
to get on, man. I have to get on that.
we just showed the covers for issue 2.
Oh, nice.
He just like Carla,
Yeah.
foot to the floor. He issue 2 was the artwork is done,
Nice.
colored already. Just working on the letters now, but
Yeah.
he wants to drop that at the end of this year as well.
Nice, man. That'd be
And
dope.
he his #3 is already in progress, and that's going to be a special book that I think you guys are going to like because
Yeah.
it may be a crossover. And I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. It may be a crossover with somebody out there, which would be dope. But the creator
Yeah.
Jari is amazing, man. Similar to Carla with his
Hmm.
origin story as a creator. You know, seeing what he was and what he is now, he's out here doing it. Him and Lau, the creator of Watchman, they actually have a
Yeah.
book signing. They have a book signing this Saturday
Oh,
in
nice.
Chicago. Yeah, they have a
Nice.
book signing in Chicago. So they're
Yeah.
foot to the pedal. Um, they both know each other. They're both in Chicago, so the both of them have
Yeah.
been teaming up to do cons together and do all kind of things. So I'm really happy for them.
That's dope, man.
Um, yeah, I'm very happy for them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that because that is a phenomenal character, man. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
he's
love it, man.
to me he's like I think he's gonna be similar to a Tony Stark's in our
Yeah.
universe because he has the money, he has the technology, he
For
has a lot
sure,
of things
man.
going on,
For sure,
and
man. He's
I'm
definitely
excited for
a
his
Tony Stark, for sure, man.
yeah I mean
Just
yeah so
looks
I'm excited
amazing
to see
too,
where
man.
it goes. Oh, yeah. You wait till you see issue 2, man. Issue 2, I was reading it, I was looking at the pages. I said, man,
Yeah.
this is gonna be one that they're gonna talk about for sure
Yeah.
because it expands upon what you saw in issue 1, and it's so dope. Um, I'll let him tell the story when he come on, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
what he originally wanted to do with his arc. We changed it up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I see the changes that he's making, and I'm like, this is it right here. This is the way.
Yeah,
This is the way
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
That's awesome, man. Well, then we get
Yep,
into
yep.
Decimation Earth, man. So I got the first 2 issues here. This is
Sci-fi,
also another one. What's that?
a glorious sci-fi story, man.
Yes, exactly, man. Pretty dope. The artwork is incredible on this as well. But yeah, man, I had Rucker on too, and he's a dope guy too. We go back and forth once in a while, man. I like him a lot.
I love how issue two ends. Issue two
Yeah,
ending. Issue
yeah,
two ending really got you on your heels, man. It's a beautiful world that Dave
yeah,
has developed here. So many twists and turns. So much of what you see isn't the reality of what it is,
yeah.
and I think that's the really awesome part about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful book inside out. The artwork inside is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, it even though it's a gray tone book, it's
Mm-hmm.
full of color in your
Yeah,
head. Like you
for
reading
sure.
it, you can see them colors popping out. And Dave is a great writer, man.
Yeah,
He's similar to Jamil. He writes very poetically.
yeah, yeah,
Um, he he leaves your mind to wander,
yeah.
and to think, really rest on your own thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a difficult thing to do as a writer because now you're allowing the reader to come up with their own concepts, and then you just shut them all down when you
Yeah.
when you read the next book. So I think that's dope, and that's similar to what like movies like Aliens did.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
kind of what you think you know isn't really what it is. It's so much deeper than that.
yeah, yeah.
But at
Exactly.
surface level, Aliens is just a horror flick. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
people running from aliens. But
Yeah,
the real story is so deep. It's
yeah,
so deep. And I
yeah.
think that's what Dave kind of has here with Decimation Earth. I know issue three has been in the works too, and I'm excited for that. I think that's where that closes off the first arc for this book as
Okay, yeah.
well.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. So as you start to open up to submissions and you start to bring on new talent, is the goal for that new talent to also be part of that same universe, or will some of them be added and others just be kind of on their own and have their own universes? Like, what's your goal with that? Do you want everyone to be connected if possible, or is that not that important?
So I got a way to explain everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
our new titles like well even Decimation Earth is in a pocket universe.
Yeah.
Luna is in a future universe that's
Mm-hmm.
not particularly our universe or
Yeah.
not maybe not even our dimension that we understand, but it
Mm-hmm.
is a relic of Earth's people going somewhere else.
Right. Yeah.
But it may be a whole nother reality.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't, we're in the beginning of these stories, so we don't even have to explain that stuff. We can tell that later on
Oh
when
yeah.
some type of instances happen. But I do have a character that's coming that kinda is the bridge to like the unseen realities.
Nice.
She works for a company called the IDT, the
Mm.
Interdimensional Task Force. So you kind of know what that means. Kind of
Yeah.
like how the TVA is.
Sure.
You know
Yeah.
how the TVA
Exactly. Yeah.
is? And it's funny because when I wrote her, it was a while ago. So when I saw that TVA come out, I said,
Yeah.
so this idea I got is going to work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
The idea is going to work. Because I
You said
wasn't
this is
sure
a
because
new character that you're developing?
you'll see her in this. Well, she's a part of the Acolyte uh
Okay.
line because when it comes to Acolyte, um I don't know if you noticed, but a team is building
Oh, for
as you're
sure.
watching it,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
100%.
she's a part of that team, and
Gotcha.
they represent like the Justice League or the icons or of the of the universe.
Yeah.
And they're slate to make an announcement in 2024 as well. So you can see some of these characters in that, man. But um, yeah, like when it comes to new creators coming in, it's really, I like to find creators and characters that fill a void that we don't have in concrete.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like
Mm-hmm.
right
Makes
now,
sense.
you can see we have another cosmic character with Yesterfate, which is really dope. I can't wait for
Mm.
you to see him. His book is
Yeah.
done already. That's like a 42 pager one shot.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a big book.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Um, and he deals with things that are like on Acolyte's dad's level. Like he's up there.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
His people are up there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, up there with the higher ups of the elder species.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's really dope. It's gonna add to the cosmic lore of everything as well. Then you got, like how we had Watchmen, now we got Dejavu, we got Primate, so we built up this year, we built up the street level a lot, street level
Yeah.
heroes. Um, and next year I got a creation that if you're a fan of like X-Men and stuff like that,
For sure.
Yeah.
I love
I
it, man.
think I think I think that people are gonna love this one and this concept. This is one of my earliest concepts
Yeah.
that finally and you that's the thing. Issue 4 of
Yeah.
Acolyte, it has to do with what I'm telling you about. Everything is a reason. Everything
Yeah.
is everything any character you see in my stories, oh, there's a
Yeah.
reason to them. There's
Yeah.
something there that you may not see now, but
Yeah.
it's going to circle back around. You're going to be like, oh, so that's why they had this and that. Boom, 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 boom. You
Yeah.
know, but they underline it for just like we know of today. Our
Yeah.
government will say something like, "Hey, don't go outside because the the air pollution is bad."
Yeah.
Really, it's like particles that are out there that can kill us, and they don't want us to go out there
Yeah,
because we're going to die
exactly.
and we don't know
Or they
what it
just
is.
sprayed something.
They just sprayed something. Don't go outside. So you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's kind of how I think. Like, I'm gonna give you a nice little coating. But if you dig in, you can be like, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
this was going on here. So that's kind of, what I want when with the new creators to come in. I want it to fill a void, man. I
yeah.
think right now we don't really have too many science based heroes. Like,
Okay, yeah.
like heroes that like gamma type explosive,
Yeah.
people that got powers
Mhm.
from like
Sure.
things like that. Mostly everybody you see, they're like their powers almost natural, or they were
Yeah.
born with it. They were something happened. I guess you can consider the super soldiers like primates and Sith rolls and
Yeah.
them. That's
Hmm.
science. But I'm thinking like those old. I'm
Like
talking about
Fantastic Four type
like
thing.
mutated
Yeah,
weirdos. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Stuff like that. So I'm excited to see that start coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 for sure, man. Man, you got so many things going on. If there's someone out there and they think they have what you're looking for, like how do you go through submissions? And do you still get quite a bit or has it slowed down? Like, how do you handle that? Because I've asked, this is putting your owner hat on, right, of KonKret
Mm,
Comics. How do you kind of go through those and what's your experience been? Because I've talked
yeah.
to other owners and they're like, dude, like you get waves, right? Sometimes you'll get like two or three and you're like, wow, these
Yeah,
are
you get
dope. And then you'll
waves.
get like 30 and they're just like, they're so far away
Yeah.
from being ready to write their own comic book. Like, are you experiencing some of that right now?
So most of the people you see
Mm-hmm.
were referral. Like it'll
Okay.
be somebody may have met a Naji, and then a
Yeah.
Naji brought it to my attention, like, yo,
Yeah.
this is pretty dope. Let's
Yeah.
check it out.
That's
Like,
cool.
he's the reason Carla's here.
Oh,
Carla
okay.
met a Naji
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they built a relationship. He said, yo, check it out. And I trust my boys. So if
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
says dope, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna
Yep.
see what
Yep.
it's like and I'm gonna see how much work it's gonna take to get it concreted up and see if I had a vision. When I met Carla, I knew she was a
Yeah.
special person. When I saw the
For sure.
character, I knew it was dope, and I knew it could work in the company. I just wanted to make sure she was ready to embark on
Yeah.
the concrete way of living.
For sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so for me, it goes the creator and the character go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's family oriented over here. So I wanna like you as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm
Exactly.
not. I'm not really just doing it for the money or at
Yeah.
all. I'm doing it for the creative process. I want our fans to have the dopest characters ever, but I also want to work alongside of somebody that I want to grow with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a major
Awesome.
part. So not everybody, a lot of people submit, but
Yeah.
you got better chances of meeting somebody in the company
For
and
sure.
impressing them and getting them to me. Other than that, we have that option on our Patreon. As little as $2, you get in, you get submission options. You get to do
Okay.
things like that, and you get to literally have personal talks with me. Like tonight, we got World Building Wednesday, which if you are available, I would love
Yeah.
to send you an invite to come and join
Let's
World
do
Building
it.
Wednesday with us tonight, man. I think we do it 8 o'clock my time. So what would
Okay.
that be for you? 4 or 5,
That'd be
something like that?
5. Yeah. I have an interview on someone else's channel tonight at 5, but I'll jump on right after. How long
That'd
do
be
you go
perfect.
for?
Well, I got maybe 4 or 5 topics, and we
Yeah.
just break down what we're
Nice.
doing. I think today we're working on relics.
Oh, right on.
artifacts, relics and
Yeah,
artifacts. And about like the other week we worked on supervillains. It got a little crazy. It got a little crazy in there. But these are the fun things about a Patreon and what
I
you can
love it,
do and
man.
submission options. We also gonna have voting options, like maybe cover voting options,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, just to
That's
just to
cool.
really have a personal relationship with our fans. But
Yeah. And
in
you bring a
in
lot of
by
your creators on quite often?
oh yeah, they you
Yeah.
can always see Jamil is always on there.
Yeah.
Onaji's there with me. You may see Dejavu, and then a lot of the Patreon guests are able to come on
That's
and
cool. Yeah.
build along with us. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been very interesting.
Yeah.
And that's a Patreon exclusive show. That it's dope. I wanted to really, 'cause as you know, social media
Yeah.
can't be trusted. The algorithm can't be trusted. They can
100%.
shut us
Yeah.
down at any time.
Yep.
So if I can get you in a place where I don't have to worry about that and it's just us
Yeah.
talking, I'll do that. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I'll definitely jump on the Patreon. Like I said, I have an interview at 5. I don't know how long it'll last, but we have a Kickstarter for our issue too. So I'm trying to get the word out there. So I'm on another channel. They had me come on just to talk about it to
Oh
hopefully
yeah.
get someone to jump on that.
Let's set up a date for you next week then to talk
Okay, that'd be
about your
cool.
your Kickstarter on KonKret Approved coming there.
I love
We'll
it,
we
Derek.
will break it all down, man, for sure.
I
I think that
love it.
that'll be dope. So
Yeah.
I'll be celebrate. Well, next week I'll celebrate my birthday this weekend, and
Oh,
then
congrats, man.
thank you,
Sweet,
man.
happy birthday. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then
Yeah, yeah.
I got the anniversary
Yeah.
next week as well. I don't know why the wife tried to destroy my birthday. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I
Tried to
know.
try to
It's like having your birthday on Christmas, right? You know you're gonna get the same amount of presents as everybody else, so it's
exactly,
almost like you don't have a birthday,
exactly.
right?
But my birthday is the 24th. The anniversary is the 29th. I said,
Yeah.
see, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why couldn't it have been October? You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else. Why did it have to be my week?
Yeah,
But so I might be I'll be free Monday, Tuesday. I got time.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Wednesday going on a little trip, what I mean,
All good
do a
for you.
little relaxation.
Good for
But
you, man.
no, I'm really excited for your project too, man. I think it's much needed in this culture, man. Um,
Yeah.
I love the
Appreciate it.
concept. I love the way it looks. It gives
Yeah.
me a real it gives me that gritty 90s image style, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Kind of makes you a little like nervous to be there. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I want to be in this laboratory, and just seeing it
Yeah.
open up. I love the body positivity that you got going on with your character
Yeah.
as well, man.
Nice. Yeah.
It's dope. It's
Yeah.
it's dope. So I'm excited to pick your brain about
I
that
appreciate it,
process and
man. I
that.
mean, that was my first one. So, actually for the Kickstarter, I'm going back into issue 1, redoing the lettering to make it a little smaller. And also to maybe do a little bit more character development because that's one area that I got to learn a little bit better. So that's why I love having these interviews with someone like you that's been in the industry for 5 years. You're an
Yeah.
excellent writer. So that's why I bring, to be honest, a lot of the podcast has been very selfish for me. I really try to keep it outside of Kingsville and
Yeah.
everything else I'm doing on my own. I try to keep it all about the creator, writer, or artist. And one, hopefully, I'm giving some exposure to that person that's coming on the show. And as we start
Yeah.
to build up, we're hitting close to 2,000, which is pretty good for me for almost a year. Get that word out and making sure that people understand, man, indie comics is where it's at. If you want unique,
Right.
interesting stories, I'm telling you, indie, you could go in any direction. And I still
Yeah.
love Marvel. I still love DC, but you're
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
limited on the stories you could tell because you have all this history that you have to
You're
bring
right.
with that character, right? So that's why I love indie comics. So that's really what the show is for. But then selfishly, I'm interviewing all these people with all this experience and I'm learning and I'm gaining because, I've been in the business world for a long time. I wrote
Yeah.
for Forbes magazine with some like business topics. And when you start to write like that, and then I've been in school forever, when you start to write like that in a very objective way, you're just telling facts. That doesn't work
Yeah.
with comic books, right? You become really dry. And so I just learned so much from you. And I really appreciate you, opening the door to me and allowing me to pick your brain and stuff. And I love it when you come on the show, man, because
Oh
you've,
yeah.
you've
Nah, man.
built
It's always
something that I
fun.
think a lot of people dream of doing, man. You've made it happen.
Nah, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you opening up the platform. These platforms are what we need.
Yeah.
I opened the floor up yesterday on my live right before some of my guests got on, and I
Yeah.
called it like concrete pitching hour or something like that. So I let
Yeah.
people come up for 3 minutes, pitch
Yeah.
your brand. I'll give you my feedback, and you
Yeah.
got to get
Yeah.
out of here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I thought that would be a cool concept to do once a week because people need
Yeah.
platforms. You never
For
know.
sure.
You never know who's listening, who's watching,
Yeah.
and who's doing what. So let's
Yeah.
just create them avenues, man, and bring that 2020 feel back. You know, because
Yeah.
2020 was horrible
Yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
but in the inside on the
Yeah.
computers, there was so much going on, so much content information. I feel like we got to figure out a way where we can continue that
Yeah.
type of buzz, where we're on lives, interviewing people, arguing, doing whatever we got to do. But that's how we keep the buzz going.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. That's so cool, Alonzo, man. I'll definitely
Yeah.
get on, man. I promise, man. Definitely gonna get on the
Oh yeah,
Patreon,
no,
man. You
I
got a lot of
definitely.
good things going, man, and I do learn a lot from you, man. So
Well, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, no, tonight is a free invite for you, man. You ain't
I
gotta
appreciate it.
the Patreon thing. I was just gonna send you the link when if you can
Uh,
join, to
yeah,
jump on
yeah.
and join, man.
I
And
appreciate
if you
that, man.
do get to looking around the Patreon, I do have for those that are watching, I do offer
Yep.
consultant.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. I do there's going to be master classes coming where I'm going to have guests going up there speaking about being a publisher and being a writer and their steps and stages, their failures, everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
y'all really gonna get to learn a lot from the people of KonKret and me. I'm always on there chatting, I mean, chatting, and saying the most I can. But no,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff, and we also have a Discord where you can be a part of that as well.
Okay. Right on,
So
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's dope.
I've actually, this is crazy and it's making me sound as old as I am, but I've never been on Patreon. So I have no
Really.
idea how it works, how it functions, and nothing, man. So this will be my first attempt at it, my friend.
Before launching my Patreon, I never was on there either.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that a lot of people that use it. It's really just like your
Hmm.
own message board, your own
Yeah.
chat room. It's like your own Facebook group, but no one
Yeah.
else is in there but the people that
Yeah.
you allow in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty dope. It has a message bar, status bar. You just
Yeah.
drop your updates there, your pictures. So it's pretty easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
easy to manage
Sounds
for
awesome,
sure.
man. Now I'll definitely jump in, man, because I definitely want to participate in all the conversations that are taking place on that, man. I know they're going to be good too.
Oh, it's gonna be some crazy ones, man, for sure. I think the first episode of World Building Wednesday, we built supermax prisons. We built five of them in different parts of the earth. Some of them were like underwater. Some of them are like up in a satellite. They all over the place. But
Yeah, yeah,
I let them. They create it. I just approve yes or no. That's it.
yeah,
And their
yeah.
names are on it. Um, we did alien races. We did government. Um, I guess government agencies
Hmm.
in one episode, and we did the supervillain ones, and this one is about the artifacts, stuff like that. So yeah, it's been
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's been
yeah.
fun, man.
That's cool, man. That's
It's been fun for sure. Things get a little hectic,
yeah, yeah.
especially when you get Jamil and like Jamil and Anaji, they're always like two brothers that just
Yeah, stirring the
taking
pot,
jabs
huh?
at each
Then
other.
they're stirring it all up, right?
That's all I'm doing. Well, a lot of the jabs are aimed towards me, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
That's cool. That's all
It's
love, though.
it's all good.
It's all
Yep.
good. All love, man. All love, man. So what else is going on, Mr. Lonzo, man? What else is going on with KonKret that you want everybody to know, man? I mean, we did speak a lot on each of the titles, but outside of the titles, man, is there anything else that you kind of wanted to let everybody know?
So
Any
we're definitely
Kickstarters
gearing
coming
up.
up or anything like that?
Definitely be on the lookout for the Luna announcement
Yep.
Kickstarter and
Nice.
Dejavu announcement Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We got Zoriel number one, which is another book written by me that I'm very excited about. I get to
Nice.
flex my supernatural wings out here. No pun intended, because Zoriel does have wings, and Zoriel is like a mixture of Blade meets Constantine meets like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Dang.
She whatever supernatural she hunts it, but her main
Yeah.
objective is fallen angels and loose demons and anything in
Yeah.
between that.
That
Um,
sounds
and
dope.
in protecting the lost souls that have no place.
Yeah.
So that's really what she does.
That
But
sounds awesome.
yeah, so she's coming out here. That book is done, lettered. colored. It'll be straight to website. You guys can. I'll have that available for pre-order for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and we have books, that are in stores right now. You can get the
Yeah.
brand new Acolyte one at a local comic shop near you. Right now, you just order it and it'll
Yeah.
be in there.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, it's been awesome, man. It's been an awesome run. Onaji and Odina, their live action has been accepted into a film festival in Atlanta. So
What?
we'll be flying down there for that film festival. Shout out to
Dang, that's
Onaji,
awesome.
Obsolete Studios, Open
I
Gate
have been seeing
Studios.
some stuff on online with some film going on. Is
Yes,
that all
sir.
around
Yes, sir.
Onaji then?
So
In
so
Odina?
he has a series. He has a series called Drafted, which is connected to the KonKret universe. But we made a partnership with Open Gate Studios, who films those projects where I gave them free reign on the KonKret universe. So whatever
Yeah.
characters he picks, we're gonna do them.
Nice,
Um,
man.
one of the characters he picked that he's been on my behind about is that one right there.
Yeah, yeah. As it should be, as it should be.
He wants to do it. He wants to do Acolyte. I've been pushing for Zoriel and Primate, but he said I want to do Acolyte. So okay, let's do it. I'm saying
Let's
I'm not
do
gonna
it,
argue with
man.
you, brother. So
Yeah,
yeah, and it's an interesting story I'm gonna tell because I do have this story with Acolyte where he gets depowered. So he's like on Earth, and the villains they're like, oh,
here's
he's
our
not as
chance.
strong. But what they don't realize is that, as you know from reading a book, he's highly trained in
Yeah,
physical combat and
for
being a
sure.
martial artist.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and it's like a homage to the original version of Acolyte, which he was going to be like Daredevil.
Mm,
Originally, he was like a Daredevil style character at street level,
yeah,
and my friend was like, he said, "Hey man, this is dope, but I know what you really want to do. You really want to go to space and go
yeah.
cosmic and stuff like that." And because at the time I was thinking of film, I was like, well, what would be easy to translate to film on a
Yeah.
budget? I said I could definitely make a Daredevil type
Oh, for
character, boom,
sure.
boom.
Yeah,
And I wasn't thinking of KonKret being this. It was just
yeah,
I just wanted to do this character as a comic book to have alongside of the film and make
yeah.
music for the film. So that
Right,
was like
right.
my whole thing. But when I made Acolyte what I really wanted him to be, it was up
Yeah.
from there. I couldn't turn away. So
Yeah.
if I do anything, you either got to be animation or big budget. So
Yeah. Is
it
that
is what it
when
is, man.
the music side of your life kind of stopped and then that's when KonKret took off? Because
I
you're
had
still not dabbling in any music, are you?
I had to make a choice for sure
Yeah, yeah, for
because
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
you can't climb two mountains at the same time. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Music is hard. It's
Yeah.
hard to get a name up there. Like, and I hated performing. I hated that stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to do that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be out there and be on
Mm-hmm.
radio shows, and you got to constantly be in the studio and writing, producing. I
Yeah.
love writing and producing.
Yeah.
Um, but I've always been doing theme songs. That's kind of how I met. Like, it's funny because my skills in music led me to a lot of my connections, like with like Fantastic Frankie and stuff like that, and people
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
them.
Mm-hmm.
I and I met her when she was kind of first growing into who she was,
Mm.
and I asked her if she needed a theme song for her little blobs. She said,
Yeah.
"Yeah." So
That's cool.
I made some beats for her, and that's how we became, close and got a nice little, friendship going on there.
Yeah.
And so I still do theme songs for people.
Yeah.
Uh, I get calls for, random verses on here and there, but my focus is comics, man. I want to
Yeah.
build this to where it gotta go. I've gone too far to start swaying. But I will
Yeah.
2024, I will drop some music. I have an album. I have a couple
Really?
albums I've been sitting on. I did drop some music for Acolyte on his first solo Kickstarter, number 3. I dropped a song called Moonwalker. So it's
I haven't
it's
heard. I heard
available.
Superman.
Yeah, so Superman was kind of the gateway to me getting back in the comics when I made that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a song called Moonwalker that I
It's on
released for
Spotify.
Acolyte. So it's in our digital library on
Oh,
Patreon, but
okay.
I plan on putting it on the website as well. Like
Yeah.
I was gonna save it for the bundle. That's probably what I'll do. Once the arc is
Ah,
done, I'll
yeah.
have it's 6 books. I'll have a 6-track EP to go along with the book.
That would be so
Yeah,
dope, man. That would be
yeah, I think
dope.
that's what
That
I'll
would
do.
be so cool, man.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's
That would
yeah,
be awesome.
I think I think that's what I'll do. I think
Yeah,
that's what I'll
yeah. I
do for
love that
sure.
idea, man. That would be awesome, man. That would be awesome.
6 tracks.
Yeah.
I think I got 3 of them tracks already, so I just got to make like 3 more that make perfect sense.
Well,
Because I
even if it was
wanted to
just
really,
three, I mean, that's enough for what you would want to do as if you're dropping
yeah.
it with the 6 part series, man.
I've always wanted to do a instrumental album. I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking about doing one for the moods of KonKret, like something that represents every character, like make a beat that
Yeah.
represents every character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
Absolver to be some death metal. It's,
Right, it would have to be dark, man. It'd have to be dark, yeah, for sure.
it'd be some super death metal going crazy,
Someone just
you know?
screaming for 3 minutes, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's
Screaming for
awesome.
no reason, saying all
No
kind of
reason, yeah.
chants. Yeah. But yeah, no, but it's a lot. It's so much I want to do. And that's a
Yeah,
lesson that I tell a lot of people that are starting off like, yeah,
yeah,
there's a lot I want to do, but you have to focus on one first and
for
get it
sure.
to where it got to go to. Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
going to open up the doors for everything else. If you're trying to be, if I'm trying to be a top selling music artist, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to be a top selling publisher,
Yeah.
I'm a father and a
Yeah,
husband
yeah.
at the
No, it's
same
tough. It's a
time.
lot to balance.
I'm a game streamer. It's a lot of things that you do. It's a lot of things, man. So, and I love comics.
Yeah.
It's at least it's things that I love to do. So if I was only doing music, I would be completely happy. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not doing comics. I love it. I think I love this a little more than I love the music.
Yeah, yeah.
The business side. I love making music.
Yeah.
That's therapeutic.
Yeah.
But the business of music is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's pretty dirty, I think, right?
Like if you want to be you literally have to sell your soul. Like
Yeah,
literally,
yeah.
there's no
Oh,
way
for sure.
around it. If you want to get on the radio, you got to have tens of thousands of dollars to do that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
those
yeah.
record labels are spending that much money to
Yeah.
control that radio. So
Right. Yeah.
what's little old me gonna do? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And you want to, if you don't perform, you got how you get your fans to come out and
Yeah.
come to your show unless you're going to perform for 3 people, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's just, but with the independence is what I like. I like the fact that, and I just discovered nerdcore. I didn't know there was a nerdcore rap. And that's basically what Clark Kent, that song falls
Ah,
into.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
kind of like I made a song that was in this genre before I knew
That
this was
genre
actual
existed, huh?
genre. So like nerdcore hip hop is like they got references into like
Yeah.
stuff they love. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
Whether
so cool,
anime
man.
or comics.
Yeah.
So once I discovered that, it kind of reignited the fire in music because now I see there's a space for me to exist and be comfortable, and I can align it perfectly with the comics. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
That's awesome, man. And that's a pretty cool add-on or like stretch goal to be able to get, some music with your comic too, man. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah.
That
No,
that's a that's
I'm
a skill
excited for
set
that
that a
part.
lot of a lot of others within the indie industry don't have, man. To not make a music as a stretch goal, so that would be super
Oh
unique
yeah.
and really cool.
Yeah, that for sure. I gotta get more, especially if I'm doing it for stretch goals and stuff like that. Now that gives me a reason to really get back in the lab, and I appreciate you saying that because that kind of lit a fire for me right there. It's like, dang, I really should be doing like, yeah, I should be using
Yeah,
these moments to continue making the music that I want to make because
yeah,
now it has a purpose. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It has more of a
exactly.
purpose to where it's going, and I'm not
Yeah,
just shooting it at a dartboard the size of a dime. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
From across the room.
Exactly,
So
man. Exactly.
yeah, no, that's
That's
crazy.
awesome, man. Well, you got a lot
But
going on, man. It is a lot to balance as a husband, a father, and everything else that's going on in your life, man. That's a lot, bro. That's a lot, man.
it's crazy. But
Yeah,
I love it. I love
yeah,
it. I love what we're doing. I love writing.
yeah,
I love writing. And I was horrible in school in English. Like
yeah.
I
Me too,
never
man.
thought in my life I would be writing books
Yeah,
and be an award-winning writer.
that's crazy.
Like I never thought that. I literally was like, I hated English. I hated it
Yeah,
with a passion. I really did. Like,
yeah,
because it didn't. I think it was because I was writing things I didn't love. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Absolutely, it
It
had to
was.
be
It was. writing reports on stuff I hated or just
Yeah.
so I think a lot of my education lies in doing things I believe in and things that I love. And
Yeah.
if I'm not doing it, my brain just be like, this is pointless, bro. Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this? Why are we doing this 20-page paper for? Why? It's not going to help us in the long run.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah. No, I agree.
you
I agree.
know,
That's
yeah.
crazy, man. Well, Mr. Lonzo, man, I can't tell you how much I hope we could do this a lot, man, because I always enjoy
We
having
can.
a conversation with you, man. You're full of wisdom, man, and I love everything that you're doing over at KonKret. Big fan. Like I said, I got almost everything. I might be missing a couple of issues,
Got
but
almost everything,
I
man.
got a pretty good stack, man. That's a pretty good stack of KonKret right
That's
there.
a good even just seeing that stack is crazy, man.
Yeah,
To
look at
to
all
to
those,
know
man.
that
And I've
to
read
know
them
that that
all,
all
man.
came
I've read them
from
all, man. I love it.
it's on. You know what? Concrete's almost close to being able to fill their own little box,
I
man.
know
Have
you
a
need to come out with
concrete
the
box.
box on one of these Kickstarters
That's
that
kind
you're
of
doing, man.
crazy.
Yeah. You could do a
And
box.
and 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 to do that in 5 years is a testament of the
It's amazing.
love, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
I, I love it.
Well, I mean, you got to be
You
good at
know,
what you do, right? I mean, so you're a good writer. You've created some amazing characters, and then you got really good artists to help you bring those characters to life. I think that's super key, man, because I get an opportunity to meet a lot of indie creators, and a lot of them have amazing stories, really bad art. And unfortunately,
yeah,
as a fan, you see the art before you hear the story or read the story, right? So the art has to pop
you
enough
do.
to make you open at least a couple pages to check it out. So when you're able to put all those things together, which isn't easy, man, especially as an indie creator trying to find an artist that's going to stick around, being able to afford a
Yeah,
good artist because you got to pay a good artist in order to have a good
yeah,
artist, right? And then not flaking on you and all that other stuff, man. It's scary when you're starting off. And I hear horror
yeah,
stories. I've experienced it with some bad artists. I'm lucky that I have one that responds to me and we go back and
yeah.
forth because it's not easy, man. So you this is where it started,
No,
man, and look
no.
at where it's gotten so far, man. And you're only
Hey,
starting,
man,
man.
I
There'll be
think
another 4 or 5 for next
yeah,
year.
yeah, and like you said, there's a lot of
Yeah,
vetting, a lot of meeting people. Like when it comes to my colorists,
yeah,
when it comes to my colorists, Matthias and Leandro. Leandro,
yeah,
he drew Zoriel, he drew Indy Starboy, and he draws Watchman mainly.
yeah.
But those guys, both of them too, even Serge De Lima,
Mm.
he draws Tenoch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um,
I got Tenoch 2 down here. We
and
didn't talk
and
about
he
him, but
does and he does a lot of the Watchmen covers. But
yeah,
those three guys I mentioned, when I met them, they
yeah,
were green. They were green. They never. Leandro said, yeah, "I just saw this artwork." He said, "I've never done a comic book, but I let it try." I gave him opportunity on like 1 or 2 pages, and then that's when I saw them. And I told Daniel, I said, "Yo, this is your artist for Andy Starboy." He saw
yeah.
it, he loved it, and he rocked it out. And
Nice.
then he did Watchmen. So, and when I met Matthias, that was his first time coloring for a big company. So
Yeah,
they kind of look at concrete like their home. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like this
man.
is no
That's
matter
cool.
what they're doing out there, if I
Hmm.
call them, they're like, "What you need, bro?"
Yeah,
And
that's
their
awesome.
communication is fire. They're so nice to work with.
Yeah,
And there's I can't complain. I thank my artists every day. Every
yeah,
day. Like,
yeah.
yo, I really appreciate y'all, man, for
Hmm.
just believing in the company, believing in the content.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, I mean, I'm sure they feel very comfortable seeing all the success because on the artist side, right, they want to work with someone that is legit too, right? That they're going to pay on time and that they're
Yeah.
going to be successful because, their ability to sell themselves has everything to do with the work that's already out there in the open. And man, now you just
Yeah.
like you said, you're lucky, man, that you could call them and they'll drop everything for you, man, because then they start to do
Yeah.
really well. And then all of a sudden they get really busy and
They
you're
start
like,
to do well.
dude, I need you,
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're always booked now, but
man.
they
Yeah.
understand the importance of concrete because now
Yeah. Yeah.
they're award winners too. When it comes to
Yeah.
Bruno and Matthias, he's
For sure.
when it comes to Matthias, he might be a 3-time award winning
That's awesome, man.
colorist now. So he's a 3-time award winning colorist, and
That's
so
awesome.
guys are definitely we're all benefiting from
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
love.
For
So
sure,
no,
man.
I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you opening up this platform to me to just vent and talk and talk to me as a writer. Man, I never get talked to as a writer ever. So I appreciate that a lot, man.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Lonzo. I got a major, major respect for you, my friend. And you're welcome anytime. Y'all drop everything, man, to bring you on, bro.
Oh no, I appreciate that, man. And
Yeah.
I do got some new creators I gotta send your way. James, he's the one of Yes to Fate. I don't know if you got to meet Chris. He's the writer of Base Force and Purple
No,
Panda.
no.
Um, yeah, so I gotta send those guys your way for
That
sure.
would be awesome, man. Yeah. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. I would
Oh
love to
yeah,
get them on.
him,
Love to get them on.
Jari
Mhm.
and Lau, all those
Yeah,
guys for sure.
absolutely. Yeah. Yep. No, I would love to
All
have
right.
them all on, man. I'd love to have your entire team on, man. Just go through all of them,
Okay.
let them get a chance to kind of share their story and how they got into comics and how they met you and all that good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Great stories out there too.
That sounds perfect. And I'll definitely set it up, man. You
I
already know.
appreciate it.
You already know. I will
I
definitely
already
set
know,
that up.
Lonzo. Yep. Thank you,
All
man.
right. I
All right, Mr.
appreciate you,
Lonzo.
man.
I hope you have an amazing week. Have an amazing birthday.
Yes,
Congratulations
sir.
and anniversary. That way your wife
Yes,
doesn't get
sir.
mad if we're only talking about your birthday. That's more of like a birthday for the wife, right? You got to take care of
I
that.
know, right?
Take care of that day,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah, because it gives her it gives her the right to be like, well, let's not go too crazy because
Yeah.
anniversary. Like,
yeah,
whatever, man. Hater,
yeah, yeah.
hater, man.
I
But all
love
right,
it, man.
bro.
That's
I really
hilarious.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be
likewise.
seeing you on those IG streets, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate you, Lonzo.
Yes, sir.
Have a
All
good one,
right.
my friend. Talk soon.